What is going on, everyone? Leon checking in, and we're at it again with another video. In today's video, we'll be demonstrating case uses of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold3. Now, these include predictable applications like video and gaming, but also more interesting applications like vehicle infotainment. Now, for reference, I'm using Nova Launcher 7 on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold3 to improve accessibility and create a more futuristic appearance. Also, when we talk about case uses in this video, we're going to be referring to the main display. Now, that's going to be that larger display on the Z Fold3. It's the one that you see when you unfold the device. That being said, the goal of this video is to provide compelling reasons on why you should get the Z Fold3 if you're unsure if this device is right for you. Now, this device is featured on the Samsung Galaxy playlist, so you can find information related to this topic quickly and easily. Now, in previous videos, we unboxed the Z Fold3, performed the initial startup, talked cases and protection, and battery performance. As for today's video, it was filmed with the Google Pixel 5a 5G and edited on the Google Pixelbook Go using the PowerDirector app from the Google Playstore. This allows us to put all the devices we reviewed through real-world usage so you can see real-world results. As always, we only feature products or services I buy, use, or am interested in. Don't have time to watch the whole video? We're now a podcast you can find on multiple platforms by searching for Pixels Cracked. And if you are listening to this on a podcast, you can find the more detailed video and YouTube channel by searching for Pixels Cracked as well. All things said, let's go ahead and get into it. Our conversation starts with the cover display versus the main display. In my case uses, the cover display has been great for accessing information quickly and easily. In fact, when the Z Fold3 is in cover view, it actually makes for a nice bedside alarm clock. When using this device in this method, it's also easier to hold since it's folded. However, although this outside screen is tall, it's also narrow, which makes it harder to see or access all content, especially in a landscape position. Now, this is where a launcher like Nova comes in handy because we can customize accessibility and aesthetics of the user interface. Unfolding the Z Fold3 exposes the main display, which is great for content consumption. It also makes items easier to view and access. Now, this main display is particularly useful for those with a vision impairment or those who just enjoy seeing things larger. So that brings us to our first case use, which is social media. So here I have Facebook running on the Z Fold3, and this app is going to look really nice. As you can see, Facebook completely fills up the Z Fold3's display, and we can also rotate the Z Fold3, and Facebook is going to rotate with it as well. Next, we have Instagram, and this is going to look okay. Now, as you can see on the left and right side, we have these blurred bezels, so this app isn't going to take up the complete display, so we're going to have some wasted retail space there. Also, if we try to rotate the Z Fold3, you can see that the Instagram app also doesn't rotate. Now, there is a setting within the Z Fold3 to make apps fit the display, but Instagram doesn't currently support this setting. Next, we have Twitter, and results are going to be very similar to Facebook. So you can see that Twitter is going to take up the complete display as well. And also, if we rotate the Z Fold3, Twitter is going to rotate on the display too. Lastly, we have TikTok, and results are going to be very similar to Instagram, except instead of having blurred edge bezels here, we're going to have blacked out bezels. And if we try to rotate the display of the Z Fold3, just like Instagram, there is no supported screen rotation. Next, we have YouTube and Netflix. YouTube works extremely well on the Z Fold3 when the device is in an unfolded state. YouTube also supports flex mode, so if we flex the display slightly, you can see the items on the display reorientate themselves to fit the feature. Now, you're not going to see this feature on other streaming apps like Netflix. Now, we can also zoom into video by tapping on the video and then tapping on the square in the bottom right hand corner, and that's going to expand the video. Now, you're going to see that it doesn't fill the screen completely, but what we could do is we can zoom in, which is called zoom to fill, and that's going to make the video take up the whole screen. The only con here is that some of the video on the outside edges will be cut off, of course. However, you can see this looks really nice when a video fills up the Z Fold3 main display completely. So I wanted to show Netflix really quick since this is a service that's used by a lot of people as well. So we're going to scroll down here and we're going to tap on a video here. And you can see, again, looks really similar to YouTube. Now, if we want to, we could try to zoom in here and it's going to fill up the screen completely. Again, we're going to have outside edges cut off of the video. That's to be expected. And also, if we try to go into flex mode here within Netflix, you can see that nothing's going to reorientate. Another thing I like about having this large main display on the Z Fold 3 is if we wanted to exit the Netflix app but still keep the video running, we can exit it and we get this nice picture-in-picture video. Now, other devices also support this, but this looks better on this device because this device again has a larger screen. So those other devices, this is going to look smaller and it's going to look like it's taking up more space. Whereas on the Z Fold 3, we can actually look around here, we can do other things, we can drag the video to different areas while still doing other things. And then just a slight mention of music apps. Here we have YouTube Music. It's going to look really good here. It's going to take up the whole screen, but it doesn't support flex mode. And we can also check out Spotify as well. Same thing. It's going to fill up the whole screen here, but again, we don't have that flex mode support. Overall though, it still looks really good. Next we have gaming, and the Z Fold 3 dominates here because of its large main display. With 256 gigabytes of internal storage, there's plenty of space to download a large library of games. All the Android games I've played look excellent on this device. The Fold 3 can also be put into a flex mode for a better viewing angle. This device also works well when paired with a controller to play AAA titles streamed from services like Stadia. The cover display can be used to run more simple titles where we don't need all the detail like Tetris. The Z Fold 3 also features a built-in screen recorder which can be found in the quick settings tiles, and it's easy to enable. Now this screen recorder features intuitive controls and good sound and recording quality. In a future video we'll be trying the GameSir X2 Bluetooth wireless mobile game controller with the Z Fold 3. Next we have books and comics. The Z Fold 3 makes an excellent e-reader, though there's room for app improvement that supports foldable tech. Books and comics are rich in detail and words and images are easily viewable. Page flips are also appealing for a device of this size. Now I'm a Google Playbooks user, and one option I would like to see is that comics and books align with the fold and hinge of the Z Fold 3, making it feel like an actual book. You can see that when I fold the display of the Z Fold 3 here slightly, the page flips actually run against that hinge. Now in order to make this work like an actual book, we would have to rotate our Z Fold 3, but you can see that this comic actually fills all the display of the Z Fold 3 and it goes into a one-page format. Now an actual book function option in line with the device hinge would present a more realistic book experience here. But if you're interested in what the page flip still looks like, this is what you're going to get. Finally, we have in-car infotainment, which is what I use the Z Fold 3 for a lot. With some simple ingenuity, we can make an attractive mount like the one you see here that holds the Z Fold 3 in its unfolded position. So to explain a little bit about what's going on here, I have some 3M dual lock fastener hardware and a TFY kitchen mount to create the mount that you see here. So to install our Z Fold 3, simply open up these arms. They're going to be spring loaded, and then we can take our Z Fold 3 and we can place it in the mount. Now as you can see, this is a little crooked, so it might take a little adjustment, but now we have it straightened out there. Now this looks really nice. It holds the Z Fold 3 securely on top of the car's radio. This allows the device to be used for applications like Google Maps and Spotify. The Z Fold 3's main display is also large enough to run apps in split screen mode comfortably. Brightness is also going to be good here, making content easy to view. Now this is a great concept for those who don't have a modern infotainment system but would like to have that infotainment feel. Now this seems to be a vision from the future where your phone becomes more interconnected with your vehicle, and this is a simple application that further establishes this concept. This setup also has the benefit of being removable, so you could take your device with you and continue use elsewhere. Lastly, you can still use the Z Fold 3 with a wireless charger like the IOTI unit I have here. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that the Z Fold 3 is a thicker device. It is a little bit heavy, so you're going to want to make sure that everything is mounted securely. So that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, please leave a like. If you're watching this on YouTube and have any questions or comments, as always, drop those down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Now, there are 3 ways you can support the channel and podcast. The first way is to click on the Amazon storefront link in the description below. There you'll find items that I have bought or would like to buy, and anything you buy from the storefront does support the content. The next way you can support us is just by sharing this content with someone who might enjoy it or find it useful. And the last way you can show your support is just by clicking the subscribe or follow button. Now, liking and subscribing are important. Those are your ways to vote on whether you like the video or the podcast. Liking and subscribing are also important for new viewers and listeners. If new viewers and listeners see likes and subscribers, they're going to think that the content is helpful, worth watching and listening to. So that is pretty much it. And until next time, Leon checking out.
You